So whenever you heard that gospel reading, did y'all feel inadequate also? Because, I mean, I haven't really tried, but I can't even imagine praying for a mulberry bush, I'm not even sure what that looks like, to uproot itself and go plant itself in the sea. There's another gospel passage where a similar thing is said, where Jesus says, if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, you would tell this mountain to jump out into the sea. I mean, I just don't have that skill or whatever. I don't know. It's just not something I can do. So why would Jesus say that? Is he saying that none of us have any faith? I don't think that's the point. I think what he's saying is that our trust in the Lord has to be absolutely radical. He's using hyperbole in this sense, because none of us can make any of these things happen. Only God can make anything happen. Every one of us, and I would hope every one of us has had this experience, where we have felt a call from God to do something, and at the time it felt like that was utterly impossible. I think in particular of the martyrs, martyr meaning witness, those who witnessed with their lives for faith in Christ. Have you heard some of the stories of those men and women where they go to their death singing songs? I think of like St. Agnes, for instance, this little girl who had her head chopped off, and there's this beautiful story of the executioner like trembling because just seeing her great faith and her willingness to go to death because she will not deny Christ. How can you do that? In some sense, that's crazier than making a mulberry bush get up and go into the ocean. But you can only do that with God's grace. That's what the point of this gospel story is. And you know what? I would venture to guess that the saints who were able to do these tremendous things would look at themselves and say, I did nothing special. That's what the rest of the gospel passage is about. Saying that basically the waiters who wait on the table, they wait on the table, and then when the master comes in, they continue to just wait on the master. And at the end of it all, they say, what? We're unprofitable servants. This is what we were obliged to do. This is just what we do. That's the tremendous nature of faith once it's taken over in somebody's life. That you will do incredible things, and the world will look around and look at you and say, I can't believe that. Why would you do something so crazy? Why would you follow a moral code? Why would you pray for more than a minute or whatever? Like, why would you do such crazy things? And it's because faith has so taken over our hearts. Anybody can do what I do. I hope that I'm a living witness to how easy this is, because I'm a schmuck. And if I can do this, anybody can do this. But honestly, the saints, we don't mimic what they do because we're not called to do the things that they were called to do. We are called by God to do tremendous things that, again, maybe seem impossible, but if we're really called by God to do them, then it's really the only thing that we could do. Unprofitable servants as we are. So friends, don't try to do impossible things because you feel like you have to, like make the bush go into the ocean. But definitely prayerfully consider the impossible things that the Lord might be calling you to do. Whatever vocation that might be, whatever works. Because once you look at it and realize that it's the Lord, you'll ultimately realize it's the Lord doing these things. It's not us. We're just unprofitable servants who are trying to listen to what the Lord commands.